Hey, this is Kendra Cunningham, and you are about to watch How's Your Mother? If you are watching this before Saturday, November 8th, please come out to Pangea in New York City this Saturday night, November 8th at 7 p.m. Would love to see you there. And do me a favor, call your mother, will you?
There we go. We're recording. How are you, Vicki Ferentinos?
I'm great, Kendra. How are you doing?
I'm good. I'm good. I have to say, I never know, the beginning of the podcast. I feel like I tend to do that sort of introducing somebody on stage voice.
Sure.
But I just, every time I do it, I go, I don't want to do that anymore. And then the next time I do a podcast, I just go right into it. So, anyways, I'm gonna start again. I'm so happy to have my guest here, Vicki Ferentinos.
Thanks for having me, Kendra.
And thanks for joining me. We're on Zoom, as people probably can tell, but we're both in the lovely state of New York,
We are. We're in the tropical flower zone right now.
and we'll be performing together
I
on
know.
Saturday, November 8th at Pangea in New York City. The show is called Eat Me, a show about baked goods and the people that love them. And each one of us will be doing 30 minutes based on baked goods.
So they should get there. They should hurry right now.
Do we know if
Whenever you're listening, order your ticket.
Sean Hollenbach's going to be hosting it?
I don't know.
Sean
We can,
Hollenbach may be hosting.
yeah. Sean,
Yeah. Sean, we know you're
Sean,
listening.
you want to chime in?
Um, so Vicki, it was a pleasure to see you. We were both on a show on Friday night together here in New York City.
It's always fun to see you.
I was trying to remember, do you think that we met at um what was that place called? In the Cheese Lounge?
I think we met. I don't know. What did you do the Time Out New York Lounge show that I had? It was at the bottom of an escalator
Is it a
at
bar?
New World Stages.
Oh, actually, you know what? Yes, I did do that show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As I used to host that show and I would find like people who were funny. I'm like, can you do the show?
Oh,
I don't know if we met there or we may have met at Ochi's. I feel like we met before Ochi's Lounge
I
when we were 10 years old.
Cheese Lounge is like when what? I don't even know that. Anyways,
I don't even,
the point is we've known each other for so long that we don't even really
we
remember.
don't even remember. And I remember that I always thought you were funny. And I remember like doing a show and then I remember thinking of you to do it and I was like, Kendra could do it. Let me call Kendra. And I referred you to
Oh,
do it because I thought you're funny.
well, thank you. I think you're very
Sure.
funny, and I think you're very funny not only on stage but as a human, just hanging out. You're funny too. Not
Oh, yeah,
not that doesn't. I don't think that's true for all comics.
that's true. I've been with some sad comics and I was like, oh, I remember being like, oh, this used to be my favorite kind of day. And then they hung out with me at my favorite day. I was like, you ruined it.
So tell me, I know you have such an interesting background. As a child, when you were a child, were you into performing? Like, did you do, chorus or plays or anything when you were less than 15 years old?
Yes, I did. I was like the oldest, youngest person. I would go to the library and get like old songs and sing solos in the talent show. In like second grade, I sang like Button Up Your Overcoat. I like went to the library and listened to music. And I sang like A, you're adorable, B, I sang Chattanooga Choo Choo in the fourth grade. And it wasn't, and people were singing like Bruce Springsteen and like Tiffany. And I'm like, can I do Chattanooga Choo Choo?
And what did your parents think about this?
I think they thought I was great. My mom was like, okay. And I would get like a gunny sack dress with like gloves. I had the whole like, it was like ridiculous. Yeah,
But they supported you.
they did. My dad was like, he was like theatrical-ish.
What did he do for a living?
He was an alcoholic. I don't, it was funny. I hung out with a comedian was on the show the other night was telling us her dad was a surgeon and she felt like she disappointed him. I was like, nah, I'm good. No, my dad owned a restaurant when I was very little.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Um, and then he didn't want to do that anymore and he sold it. And then he just kind of couldn't figure out how to be regular person, I think.
Mhm.
Okay.
What kind of restaurant?
He started it was like a garage. He turned it into like a burger ice cream place.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, and a kid who worked for him. He started with an ice cream truck and something happened and then he converted a garage. He was like pretty industrious kind of guy. And a kid who worked for him, like he ended up selling his restaurant to it. And that guy made it like a big restaurant and all the stuff.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
And how old were you old enough to, if you wanted to work in a restaurant, or too young?
I think I was like 5, but when the guy who bought it, Pete, bought it for my dad, I remember going there when my dad was, as a kid working there a little bit.
Right, right, right. Oh,
So,
that's cool. So maybe that's a little bit where you get your entrepreneurial drive.
yeah, my mom was always like entrepreneurial too. Both of my parents were kind of like, had an entrepreneurial spirit. My grandparents, both sets also owned food businesses.
Oh, and
Uh,
was your mom in the food business?
My mom ended up being a realtor for like 30 years.
Oh.
She was much more highbrow than my dad. It was one of like she had like a Madonna British accent, even though she was born and raised in Jersey City.
Oh my God, I love
Like,
it.
I can't take your call right now. And I'm like, Mom, what? And her hair was always done. Yeah. It's like always put together. She was, yeah.
And so you were sort of a theatrical kid since you were.
I was, but I wasn't like, it's Broadway, baby. Like I wasn't that kid. I was just like, I did a bunch of things and I did do that. But I remember in the 4th grade when like everyone wrote down, what do you think? So you had to write down what you thought everyone in class was going to be, and then you had to write down what you thought you would be when you grew up. And everyone in class thought I was going to be a singer, and I thought I was going to be an art teacher. And here we are now.
Here we are now.
None of those things are true, and I can't really sing, so there you have it.
So and then in high school, were you in plays and stuff, or no?
No, I did a lot of visual art in high school. I did photography and I did welding and fine art stuff.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
And then college.
And college, I went to school for fine art. I do remember telling at 17, I told my high school boyfriend that I wanted to be a stand-up comedian. And he said, "No, I'm funnier than you are."
Ah!
And then I didn't think about it. And then I killed him, and then I ended up being funnier. No, he's still alive. Um,
What was the fine art that you did in college? All different things, or?
yeah, I went to school for visual arts. It was mainly like sculptural. My mom always thought I was going to make like giant metal sculptures and things like that because I would do metal work. But I do remember like signing my student loans wearing an outfit I made completely out of tampons. And I got an A+ for it. And they're like, so you're gonna pay back your 27,000 in loans? And I was like, of course I am. Look how qualified I am. Think of all the money I'm gonna make with my tampon outfits.
Where was that? Were you in New York then, or?
I went to Mason Gross at Rutgers College. Thought I
Okay.
there. And then I went
So,
back a bit for culinary later. So
and when did you actually start stand up?
when I was 32, I moved to New York City and I learned to play the guitar, blow glass, and then I started doing improv comedy at Upright Citizens. And like my second class, someone's like, "You're crazy, you should do stand up." And I said, "All right." And then I took Tommy Koenig, I took a class with him and Ron Poole. And
Oh,
then I loved it from the get-go. I loved it literally from the first show. I was like, this is like drugs if I did. I'm like, I thought it was the best.
right.
But then I remember going to do a show with Pete Holmes, had a bucket show at UCB. It's like my second time, and I put my name in, and I did my act with the same like yeah to like a crowd full of like 1-year-old guys in hoodies, and it was just and I was like dead silence. I was like, "Oh, this is bombing. Okay, that's okay. It's okay. Like it's fine." So yeah, it was a while. Then
I didn't realize that you took classes with Tommy Koenig. Did I know that?
I don't know. Yeah, I took a class. I guess I took 2 classes with him. Yeah.
Yeah.
Someone in my class wrote that they thought, do you remember he does that exercise of like um everyone has to write down what they think what you do for a living and what kind of comedy you'll do. And everyone wrote down they thought I was a lesbian and that I did hair. And I was like, I'm not gay and I just got my hair cut. Like, but then I was like, years later, I was like, oh, I am gay. Yeah, there was like a guy in my class too. He like took me out to be like, don't you see why you're not like everybody else? And I'm like, no. I was like in my cords and like a Henley and like, yeah, this is weird. But anyway.
That's funny. You know, I took a lot of classes with Tommy Koenig, and I actually just emailed with him the other day.
Oh, you did.
Yeah.
Hi. Well, tell him I said hi. I haven't talked to him in a long time. I used
Well,
to love his art too, that he made cool art.
he makes really cool art. He lives
Yeah.
in Florida now.
Oh, he does. Really?
He's married.
He's married?
Yep. He,
No,
yeah. I
congratulations.
know he got married before he moved to Florida.
Okay.
But anyways, we'll talk about that offline. But
Sure.
I will definitely tell him that you said hello. I'd be
Yeah, definitely.
happy to hear that. Um, what else was I going to say? So, okay, so I guess I didn't realize that you came out so late in life.
I did. Yeah, it never dawned on me. I wasn't like, I'm in the closet. I
Yeah.
had not even a thought. Like, I feel like though, looking back, like I definitely was dating women who followed me places, and I just was like, they're so nice. No, I had like all long-term boyfriends. I like dated a guy for like 5.5 years, then like 3 years, and then like 5 years, something like that. And then, yeah, I don't know. Then I didn't date anyone. I don't know.
And
It dawned on me that I was like, I did that Ladybug Warrior show
right.
over and over again. And then I was like, it was about my life. And then there was a comedian who I was like, would get all like nervous in front of. And she was gay. And I was like, wait a second. Because guys, I'd always be like, hey, what do you want? Like I was very confrontational. And they'd be like, and they would ask me out and they would like me. And I'd just be like, okay, I guess I like them. Or they would like take their pants off and be like, oh, it's a date. I didn't know. Like, like it never dawned on me. But yeah, I was like, oh, maybe I'm supposed to like someone too.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, I guess it's whatever. And then and then that didn't work out. And then I had some kind of heartbreaks. And then I was like, yeah, I'm definitely gay. It's hilarious. It was hilarious. I was like, this is so. I was like, oh my God, I like realize who is like checking me out and I'm checking. It was like I not literally
It
not
didn't even make
noticed
it
so
even
many
occur to you.
obvious things. It was
Right.
ridiculous. Hilariously ridiculous. But yeah.
I love that.
Yes.
Um, so so you started doing comedy later, a little bit later in life, and you were doing. I mean, I remember Ladybug Warrior very well. You know,
Yeah.
I think a lot of people remember it, and
Right. Because it doesn't make sense, but it made
well,
sense.
no, because I think it's also catchy.
It is.
Ladybug Warrior.
Yeah. There were people in Scotland chanting down the street, Ladybug Warrior. It
Oh,
was
that's right,
hilarious.
because you took it to. Um,
I did. I went to Edinburgh. Yeah.
that's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Do you ever think about would you ever do it again, or are you like that's an old story for me at this point in time?
The Ladybug Warrior going to Edinburgh. Ladybug Warrior.
Ladybug Warrior.
I don't know, maybe. I think about it sometimes. I tried to make like a little cartoon of it. I done like this still frame of it. Maybe. I mean, I think in essence it's like kind of who I am because I'm always just shocked, like, well, that didn't see I don't think that was nice. Wasn't. I don't know. Maybe. Who knows?
Find me. I mean, I know this story, but it's such a great story. So you were making, wait, did you have a storefront and you made wine glasses? Remind me of that story.
Okay, so when I was 22, I opened an art gallery.
Oh, that's great.
Um,
And how does that come about? Like, how did
I didn't know what I was going to do. I was like, started baking cookies all the time. I think my mom was like, oh God, she's lost. She
because
doesn't know.
you're the oldest, right?
No, no, my brother's an accountant. He's older than I am.
Oh,
He's
I thought
very
you
like, he's
were.
very
Okay.
like, you know, he's married to a lady and they have 3 sons and I love him very much and they're nice, but he's like a straight-laced guy.
Right.
And I was like this artsy daughter. Yeah, I just kept baking cookies at home. My mom's like, I don't know what we're gonna do. What are you gonna do? And I was like, I don't know. And I had random jobs and stuff. And then I wanted to open a little restaurant, even though it was non-related. I hadn't studied cooking. And then I was like, I don't have enough money for that. And I went to school for art. I'll just open an art gallery. And I like figured out how to do it. I was living at home with my mom and I opened and like, whatever. The
So
second
like,
I found out my dad had a brain tumor, I ended up going to get him. My parents were divorced, took care of him. He passed away 6 months later. I was like bankrupt, but my business was still going. And then like 6 months after that, high school boyfriend, we break up, whatever, blah, 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 blah. Heartache, all this stuff. And then this guy is jogging past the place and he ends up being a photographer for this. My gallery was in New Jersey, in Summit, New Jersey, and it was called Vox Gallery, Voice Gallery. I don't know why I called it that, but it sounded fancy. And and it had all like paintings and artware and metalwork, and then it had like funky, like high-end craft stuff that like before everybody was selling it. And some of the stuff I made, but not a lot because I was just whatever. If you have a store, you just have to do retail. Taking this too long. Get to the point. Get to the point. So,
but okay, good. Can
and
I ask one question though?
sure.
So when you opened it, so you just were kind of like, oh, I got to buy some stuff and resell it. Like, how did it, or did anyone talk to you and give you some words of wisdom, or were you just like, I'm gonna run this?
I like little wisdom.
Okay.
Minimum. I like put ads in. It was like pre-internet. So I
Okay.
put ads in papers and I got all these different artists to show their work, but I wouldn't have to buy their artwork
Ah.
until I'd sell it, right? And
Okay.
I'd get commission. And yeah. And I was just faking it. I was pretending I was like 35 and I was 22.
Did you end up? Did you end up making friends with any people that stayed in your life, like artists that you commissioned for, or?
Oh, no, that's weird. No, I didn't. Why is that not? Why
No, I
not?
was just curious. I don't
Why
know
not?
how
Yeah.
the how much of relationships develop in that.
Sure.
That's why I was curious.
They probably would have if I weren't so like, I felt like I was always playing a part. Like
Yeah.
I was art gallery owner. I didn't know what I was doing. I had no idea what I was doing. I was faking it. I had no clue what was
Right.
happening.
Right.
And then I started to like buy craft stuff and sell it. And this guy mentioned my store at a photo shoot in the city. And they called and they're like, hey, we hear you have cool glassware. And I like was like, yeah. And I had this etched glassware, like martini glasses. And then I went to Crate and Barrel and I just bought a ton and I painted a bunch and bedazzled a bunch and I shipped them all to them. And then they're like, oh, we want to have a meeting with you. And I went to this like Alpha Graphics, like copy center, and I made all these like, I probably have it. I know I have it somewhere, but like I made this little presentation and I wore like the only suit I owned, which is what I wore to my dad's funeral, and like this pink scarf. And I didn't have money for parking, I was like fully faking it. And I sat down at this meeting in like one of these conference rooms. And that's not my life. I didn't know it
Right.
was my
Right.
life. And I'm sitting there and they're like, oh, if we'd like to order 72,000 of your hand painted glassware. I was like, they're like, how many pallets is that? And I didn't know what a pallet was. I was like, the roof of my mouth. Like, I was like, that doesn't make sense. And I was like, it's a lot. And yeah, I mean, I called like the Food and Drug Administration and I got a guy there to write me a letter of like why it was safe to use this paint. Like it was just like crazy, like crazy. And they ordered 72,000 glasses from me and I told them I would ship them to them in 8 weeks. I like rented, I was driving a 24-foot truck for 2 months. I took out stop signs. I ran over my neighbor's yard.
What, did you rent it?
I rented it. I said to the U-Haul guy, like, hey, can I rent this for a long time? He's like, all right. I paid him like $3,000 a month, which was like a lot then. It was like,
Yeah, it's a lot now too.
yeah. But like, yeah. And I didn't have money to buy 72,000 glasses. So I called the lady who was like the promotions lady in between, who was like my age. And I was like, I don't know why I was whispering, but I was like, Lisa, how do I do this? She's like, tell him you need a 15% deposit. And that, so I hung up and I called her right back and I was like, hi, Lisa, I need a 15% deposit. And they like wired me like 50,000 or something crazy. It was
That's
crazy.
crazy.
I know. I always thought like, yeah, I always say my dad sent it to me because it was a liquor company that bought all those glasses. And he felt bad that yeah, I literally like, yeah.
I would love to see what they look like. Do you have pictures of them?
Yeah, I wonder if I have like, I'm just gonna look in this cabinet. Excuse me if it turns into a floor.
Ah,
That would be weird if I just had it. But yeah, no, I have like a whole, it was for Salsa Tequila.
oh wow.
I don't have it here, but yeah, and I think it's downstairs. I have like the box and everything that they came in. It was like their gift packs for the holidays.
Oh yeah. Well,
And
if
it
you
was like,
send me a picture if you find it, please. I'll add it on the. I'll
I
add it.
will. I'll send it. I have it downstairs. And then yeah, so they bought three I said, oh, well, you'd like to license the designs? I was just made up words. Oh, yes. And I like, yeah. And I hired 18 people and we covered the windows and we painted them. And then they ordered another 9,000 from me
Oh my
after that. And and then I bought a house. I was 24. I bought a little house in a lake and I was like, I don't need a gallery. I'm a glassware designer now. And I like I did all these trade shows and then I was in like Circus Casino. The guy
God.
loved
Oh
me and he had me painting all these clown glasses. He said, you could do whatever you want. And it was kind of funny. Yeah.
oh, so I didn't realize. So the glassware business continued after that one bulk.
It did. It was called Vicki Irene Designs.
And how long did it? How long did that go for?
It went through 9/11 because I had these ovens that I baked glasses. So that was like,
Oh, I didn't
I
realize
even
that.
did like World Trade Center. I had like 9/11 like glasses in their windows on the world.
Oh wow.
Kahlua, I did Kahlua. Ben Lerman, do you remember him?
Yeah.
His sister owned a store called, we didn't know this until later. His sister owned a store called Barski and Meowskis, and I would Barkskis and Meowskis, and I would paint all these dog and cat classes for them.
Ah.
Kind of funny in Chicago. So I guess I did that for let's say yeah, maybe I did that for like 6 or 7 years. I did like Dharma and Greg. Do you remember that TV show? I sent them stuff and I was like, hey, I make fun stuff. And then they ordered it. So all of her juice bar glasses, when she opened a juice bar in the show, I had painted all of them and they had all these cake plates.
Oh my God.
I would just like try it and see what happens. Yeah. So it was just kind of funny.
Then why? What happened? What was the
And
thing?
then like I think 9/11, the economy changed and then I didn't know what I was going to do. And then I went back to school for culinary. And then I had a little hat box that I decoupaged and I wrote Soulfully Good on it. And I went store to store selling jams and chutneys.
Oh.
And I got in like 75 stores and I was like selling 25-pound bags of organic granola to like Fairway.
Wow.
And I would like weigh myself and then I put the granola in a trash bag and then weigh myself holding it again because I didn't have a food scale. I would just say yes to things. And then I'd be like, oh, I could figure it out.
And what? Where'd you go to culinary school?
Uh, Institute of Culinary Education, ICE in the city.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. I know that place.
Yeah.
So then when you were doing all this, you were also doing comedy on the side.
So I would say I started doing this, and then when I moved to New York City at 32, I didn't know if I was going to open a little restaurant with the money that I had from selling my house. I didn't know what I was going to do, and I was like, I got to figure out what makes me happy. Then I started doing comedy, and I
Okay.
would do food at the same time.
I see. I see.
And
Okay.
then I started a catering business, and tons of comedy people helped me get amazing catering clients.
Right.
And then I think I chose money over fun. Like
Yeah.
people in catering and like culinary had no idea I was funny. 'Cause I was like, we're
Would you
out of shrimp. Like I was like,
clear off the counter? I gotta put the mustard
exactly.
down.
I was like,
You said you wanted honey, not stone ground.
exactly. You said there were no gluten allergies.
Where's the order sheet? Where's the order sheet?
If you're not happy, we can leave right now.
Get your sandwiches somewhere else, bucko.
Exactly. Yeah,
But then you did end up opening a restaurant eventually.
I did. I did. Yeah, I convinced Shannon we should sell our house. My wife's gay. She knew she was gay early on. She had one boyfriend. She probably shouldn't say it was her art teacher. Weird thing. But anyway, he was
How
in
did you guys meet anyways? I don't know if I know
We
that.
met on Match.com,
Oh, nice.
but we met years before at Rose's turn, and we didn't know it. Like, she was with her ex then, and I thought I was straight, so it probably wasn't the time to meet. But yeah, we
Was
met
her
years.
was her ex a performer as well, or
Her
they,
ex was a Broadway singer,
oh,
and Shannon was Liza Minnelli's assistant at the time.
that's right.
And then we met because Danny Leary wanted to meet Liza, and I went over to Shannon's ex, who I almost said, "You're a really good singer. You should sing professionally." But luckily, I didn't say that. Um, but yeah, then he met her, and that was it. But I remember her.
Wow.
Funny.
That's crazy. What a small world, huh?
I know life's pretty small.
So then you guys moved to Vermont.
We did. We moved to
What
Vermont
country
and
are you
opened
in?
what it was called Woodstock, Vermont, and it was
Oh,
called Soulfully Good, same name. And yeah, it was a cute. I always thought, oh, well, open a cute little place. And it was like one of those things that like it happened with ease.
right.
Like it was like we saw a place, it was for sale, but it was like $2 million. Like that's not gonna happen. And then I saw it for rent 2 months later. And like the landlord said yes to every question we had. I made up stupid things like you can never raise the rent forever, like that kind
Right.
of stuff.
Right.
And he's like, well, I just want you to do really well. So yeah, like he said yes to everything. And then our house, we listed it and it sold that day.
Oh my God, that's crazy.
And then we just like laid in bed and cried and we're like, I guess we're moving to Vermont. I don't know what this means.
Where was your house at that point?
We had bought a house in Stony Point, New York, in
Oh, okay.
County.
So
Um,
you put that on the market, it sold, and then you took off, went to Vermont. And did you
that's
buy
right.
a house right away up there, or did
No,
you?
we were living above the cafe because we didn't
Okay.
know like if we were gonna like Vermont. We didn't know if we were gonna fail. We didn't know any. I like didn't tell people I was moving. Like I was like, this could be the dumbest idea ever
Right, right, right.
because I didn't want to lose all my clients. But then eventually I was like, okay. Um, yeah, we lived above. There was an apartment above, which made Shannon crazy because they had like a coffin shower. She had to like shave her legs on the bed. And she's like, this is terrible. Um, but yeah, so we lived.
And then how long did it take you before you were like, all right, let's buy something here?
Well, when we decided we're like, okay, we're gonna stay. We didn't touch, we had like a little bit of money from selling our house because
Right.
we'd only been there 3 years. So the equity we had, um, we didn't touch that money. So I was like, okay, we have to find a house so we could buy a house for that. And so we saw this house. It scared us because there was like this broken down trailer across the way. And I was like, we can't live here. It could be like a Dahmer situation. And but then they dropped the price to like $69,000. It didn't have heat or running water. It was like vacant for 6 years, but it had like 2 acres and it was like an old farmhouse. And I was like, if the trailer's gone, we'll see what. And the trailer was gone. We drove past it. Shannon went to look at it without me because I was working.
Right.
and we just bought it. And yeah.
Wow. And then you guys did all the work, right?
And we did all the work because Vermont's like one of those great places that there aren't a lot of people, but also there aren't a lot of people. And so if you need work done,
Yeah.
they're like,
You
I'm
figured this out.
hunting, I can't come. I'm like, what if we give you a ton of money? Doesn't matter. I gotta shoot deer. I was like, okay. So we like learned how to do everything. It was awful but great at the same time. It was good. So yeah, we put in like 2,000 square feet of flooring. And
Wow.
Shannon's like, we're gonna do something to the upper field. Like she was using words I thought she was making up. Oh, we're gonna brush hog, and I was like, now you're just making crap up. Like, why don't we just say you're gonna mow the? She's like, no, these are the words. I was like, okay.
Oh,
So
God. So then you learned how to do all that stuff now.
learned how to do all that stuff. Yeah, we put in 2 toilets. We put in a shower. We put in a whole kitchen ourselves. Like it was 80
Wow.
came in 80 boxes.
I want to do that.
If
That
you
sounds
didn't
like.
think I was a lesbian before, wait until IKEA. No,
Now, did you think it was fun? It sounds fun to me. Or was it like totally stressful?
it was fun once I feel like for me, if I could dream something, if I could see it in my head, then I'm fine.
Right.
But when we like put in the offer and we're buying the house, I went to look at it one time during the inspection, and the inspector guy was like 90 years old, and he's like, "You just knock it down." I was like, nope, we're not doing that. Um, but I was like freaked out because I couldn't see it done. And then in the middle of the night, I woke up and I was like, okay, okay, it's gonna be fine. And then
Right, right, right.
it ended up being fine. It took us a little bit, but
That's awesome. I
good.
love it.
Yeah.
I
And then
wanted,
we
I
sold
wanted,
it, and then we sold it. We did great. It was smart. So it was good.
and now you're back in New York.
Now we're back in New York.
Now you're out there doing comedy. I see you
I know. I'm trying.
still active, right?
That was the deal. I was like, I want to do something that really is like my heart and take a chance and do it because I've
Right.
always yeah, I've always been like, I can sell you a glass or how about a cookie? But I was like, maybe, but what if I get, so I'm like, just do it.
Well, I'm so happy you're back, and I feel like it's great that
Yeah.
we get that. I mean, selfishly, I feel like I'm lucky I get to do shows with you, and we're doing and our show,
I
Eat
know.
November 8th at Pangea in New York at 7 p.m. You can buy tickets now.
Buy them now. We'll wait.
I I started just texting people directly, to try to get them to take some action. But a lot of people don't buy till like the week before. That's the thing that drives me crazy. So you panic
It's
and then suddenly it's fine.
it's true.
Um anyway, I what else I want to ask you what else? Oh, I wanted to ask you, so when you think about your sense of humor, do you think
Okay.
that would you say that there's anybody that like your mom, your dad, would you say at all your family influenced your humor? Or do you think you were just naturally funny?
I would say my dad was like two people. He was like a funny guy or a scary guy.
Okay.
Uh, so there was that. My mom had super dry sense of humor.
Yeah.
Like she'd be like, nobody likes a smart aleck, and I'd be like, that's why you have no friends. But uh no, I think I remember going to therapy once and she's like, you have a really healthy sense of humor that you like cope. I think it was definitely a coping
Coping
mechanism.
mechanism, yeah.
Yeah. And I think that yeah, I don't know. I'm pretty much the same person
Yeah.
most of
Um,
the time, which is like disturbing to people.
you have a consistent disposition.
I do. I think
Yeah.
so. I mean, sometimes I'm like, but yeah.
Now, this will be our final question because we got to move on to the number two
Okay.
we talked about. The if what is your like if I was to wave my magic wand and be like, Vicky, 24 hours from now, you're going to get a phone call and your biggest dream that you could ever imagine in regards to your creative life is about to come true. What would that be?
Well, I want to make the Vermont Cookie Company. the pilot that I wrote about. Yeah, I don't know. I love the story, and I'm writing a book about it too.
Oh, okay.
So
So
it's
you
like
would,
a
so you
whole
would, so it would be movie book deal.
or a TV series with a
TV
book
series.
deal,
Okay, TV
and
series.
then the movie can be later.
Oh, okay.
It could be like Sex in the City, but with cookies, where they did the movies after. People were like, "Why aren't you doing a movie?" And they're like, "All right," and then it became a movie. Yeah.
All right. Well, there you go.
There you go. I didn't ask you anything, and I'm so happy you remembered me and wanted to perform with me and all those things.
Of course. I love how you're. I mean, pretty much everyone I talk to is like, I can't believe Vicki thinks that I wouldn't remember her, and I'm like, I know. I'm like,
No, because there's all
she's
like
done it to me.
I know, but I feel like I kind of like disappeared and I like went off in the woods and sold sandwiches. Like people have QR codes and ride Ubers and
I
like
know, but I don't know. It's like it's not like you just meekly sat in the corner of shows when you were here and never spoke to anyone, and you're like, maybe they remember you. I mean, you were,
right.
you were in the mix, baby.
I know, I forgot. I'm remembering. I'm
Now she's
remembering.
back. Now she's back. Uh,
Back again.
well, thank you so much for taking the time to talk to me via Zoom. I'm excited.
Thank
I
you,
don't know if I'll see you
Boston.
before November 8th, but I'll see you on November 8th.
All right.
And are we allowed to say that there might be some surprises there for the guests?
Yes, there could be surprises. Whatever you need there to be, they'll be there. So get there.
Yes.
Yeah, I could be baking some things. I think
There
it's
you
going to
go.
happen. There you go.
All included in the ticket price.
All of it.
Um, all right. Well, I'll add all your links and everything to this post after the fact. But thank you, Vicki, for hanging out with me.
Thank you, Kendra. Very fun. Next time I'll ask you questions.
I love that.
It was all me, me, me.
I know. Well, that's how the podcast goes. But we can do. I was thinking of having very short segments where my guests
Yeah.
turn the tables on me.
Right.
Anyway, thank you, Vicki. I'll talk to you later.
Thank you. Bye, Kendra. Bye.